I switched to a $7 drugstore toothpaste for 30 days. And my dentist actually asked me what whitening treatment I had done. I didn't have the heart to tell her it was a $7 tube from the bottom shelf. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're never going to look at Colgate the same way again. Welcome to Smart Save Labs. This channel does one thing. We take expensive branded products and put them up against cheap alternatives in real controlled tests. No sponsors, no brand deals, no sugarcoating, just results. Today's test, a $7 drugstore whitening toothpaste versus $18 Colgate Optic White. Let's find out if the price difference is real or just really good marketing. Let's be honest. Most of us reach for Colgate without even thinking. It's on every shelf. It's in every commercial. Your parents used it. Your dentist probably has a free sample of it sitting in a jar at reception. That kind of familiarity builds trust, and Colgate knows that. Colgate Optic White specifically markets itself as a professional level whitening system. The packaging is sleek. The price signals quality. It even has a special blue gel formula that activates whitening. Sounds impressive, right? But here's the thing. Impressive packaging and impressive results are not the same thing. So I asked myself, what exactly am I paying for when I buy this? And that question led me to the test you're about to see. I needed this to be fair, so here's exactly what I did. I picked a drugstore whitening toothpaste, Arm & Hammer Advanced White, priced at $7 at most pharmacies. The competitor, Colgate Optic White. Advanced, retailing at $18. I used both toothpastes for 30 days. Left side of my mouth, drugstore brand. Right side, Colgate. Same brushing time, 2 minutes, twice a day. Same toothbrush, a basic soft bristle brush on both sides. No whitening strips. No mouthwash. No changes to diet or coffee intake. I photographed my teeth under the same lighting every 10 days using a shade guide, the same kind dentists use to measure whiteness. I also tracked texture and feel during brushing, sensitivity levels, freshness duration after brushing, and visible results at days 10, 20, and 30. Everything controlled, everything documented. And let me tell you, by day 10, one side was already pulling ahead. I want to guess which one? Let's break this down stage by stage. By the end of week 1, both toothpastes were doing something. But the difference in feel was already noticeable. The Colgate had a minty, almost sharp sensation. Very toothpaste commercial energy. The Arm & Hammer had a slightly milder mint, but that baking soda formula creates this clean, almost polished feeling on your teeth. On the shade guide, both had moved half a shade whiter. Dead even at this point. But here's where it gets interesting. My sensitivity on the Colgate side was already kicking in slightly. Not painful, but that twinge when you drink something cold. The Arm & Hammer side, nothing. Zero sensitivity. Round 1 winner on comfort. Arm & Hammer. Whitening, a tie. Now things start to separate. On the shade guide, the Colgate side had moved 1 full shade from baseline. The Arm & Hammer side, 1.5 shades whiter. Let me say that again. The $7 toothpaste produced more visible whitening by day 20 than the $18 Colgate. The baking soda in Arm & Hammer works as a mild abrasive that physically lifts surface stains, and it was working faster. Sensitivity on the Colgate side was now consistent. Not severe, but noticeable enough that I was being careful with cold drinks. Arm & Hammer side remained completely sensitivity-free. Round 2 winner, Arm & Hammer. And it's not close, this is the moment. 30 days in, full test complete. I sat down with my shade guide and did the final measurement. Colgate Optic White, 1.5 shades whiter from baseline. Arm & Hammer, Advanced White, 2 full shades whiter from baseline, 2 full shades, with a $7 toothpaste. And the sensitivity? By day 30, my Colgate side had noticeable enough sensitivity that I was genuinely relieved the test was over. The Arm & Hammer side felt completely normal. Freshness duration was roughly the same for both, about 3 to 4 hours of clean breath feeling. Texture and foam were both acceptable. No issues on either. But on the only 2 things that actually matter, whitening results and comfort, the $7 drugstore toothpaste won. It didn't just tie, it won. And now you're probably asking the same question I did. How is a $7 toothpaste beating an $18 one? Here's the simple answer. You're not paying for ingredients when you buy Colgate. You're paying for the brand. Look at the active ingredients in both products. Colgate Optic White uses hydrogen peroxide as its primary whitening agent at a 2% concentration. Arm & Hammer uses baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, combined with a low abrasion formula. Here's the thing about baking soda. It's been used for teeth cleaning for over 150 years. It's one of the most studied, most proven surface stain removers in dental history. Multiple clinical studies, including one published in the Journal of the American Dental Association, have shown that baking soda toothpastes are significantly more effective at removing plaque and surface stains than non-baking soda formulas. Colgate's hydrogen peroxide formula can cause enamel sensitivity with prolonged use. Baking soda is gentler on enamel. So why does Colgate cost $18? Television commercials, celebrity endorsements, premium packaging design, shelf placement fees at major retailers. You're literally paying for the marketing budget, not the formula. The ingredients that actually whiten your teeth cost a fraction of what's on that price tag. And that is the game. Let's talk numbers. Colgate Optic White, $18 per tube. A tube lasts roughly 30 to 45 days with twice daily brushing. Let's say 40 days on average. That's about $164 per year, just on toothpaste, for one person. Arm & Hammer Advance. White, $7 per tube. Same usage rate, roughly 40 days. That's about $64 per year. Difference, $100 saved per person, per year. Now scale that up. Family of 4. You're saving $400 a year, switching everyone to the drugstore brand. Over 10 years, $4,000 from toothpaste. Money you spent on a product that, based on this test, doesn't even work as well. Think about what $4,000 buys. A vacation, a laptop, an emergency fund, 6 months of groceries, and your teeth? Actually whiter with the cheap one. That's not a small win. That's a significant life decision dressed up as a boring grocery run. Now this is time to show you pros and cons of both products. Let's keep this quick. First, we discuss Colgate Optic White. $18 pros. Widely available everywhere. Strong mint freshness. Trusted brand name for peace of mind. Cons. More expensive by nearly 2.5x. Caused noticeable tooth sensitivity. Produced less whitening in this test. You're largely paying for branding. Now we age going to Arm & Hammer Advance. White, $7 pros. More whitening in 30 days. Zero sensitivity experienced. Baking soda formula is clinically backed. Dramatically cheaper. Widely available at most drugstores and supermarkets. Cons. Slightly milder mint flavor. Some people prefer stronger. All the less premium feel in the hand. Packaging is basic. No wow factor. The cons of the cheap one are cosmetic. The cons of the expensive one actually affect your experience. That matters. Here's my clear, honest recommendation. If you are currently buying Colgate Optic White at $18, stop. Pick up Arm & Hammer Advance White the next time you're at the drugstore. You will get equal or better whitening results. You will likely experience less sensitivity. You will spend less than half the money. And you'll realize, maybe for the first time, that you've been paying a brand tax for years without knowing it. This isn't about being cheap. It's about being smart. You work hard for your money. You deserve to know when a $7 product genuinely does the job better than an $18 one. Because in this case, it does. If this test changed how you think about toothpaste or any branded product, drop a comment below. Tell me, what expensive product do you want me to test next? I've got comparisons lined up for shampoo, sunscreen, vitamins, and laundry detergent. And in every single one, I'm testing whether the brand name actually earns that price gap. Hit subscribe if you want the results before everyone else, and share this video with someone who's still dropping $18 on toothpaste. You might just save them hundreds of dollars. One tube at a time. See you in the next one.